Hi, everybody. This is Patrick from Perching with Studios, and it is time once more for Monday Medicine. If you haven't seen my videos before, and I know they've been a little few and far between lately, but I'm trying to get back into it. And if you don't know what this is about, every week, hopefully, I go and I have a deck of cards called medicine cards, and each one has a different animal on it, and each animal has a different medicine or energy or power, however you want to say it, that is kind of like what they bring, the gift that they bring to the world by being who they are and in their niche in the environment, whatever role they play, etc. And by them, we can learn about ourselves. And so, what I do is I draw a card each Monday and gives us a little perspective, a little context with which to view our coming week, and hopefully gives you something else to look forward to on Monday morning besides just having to get up and go to work. So I already shuffled my cards and I picked one, and this week's medicine is cougar medicine, mountain lion medicine. So, what mountain lion is about is leadership. Um, And I'm not talking about a leadership that a leader who has followers or a guru that has tons and tons of people following them and hanging on every word. Um, the leadership that Mountain Lion brings is the leadership of following your own heart. It's about being true to yourself, being authentic, and listening to your heart. And by doing that, you become a leader. You become into your own power and authenticity. And when you do this, you become a leader automatically, not by collecting followers or becoming some great speaker or anything like that, but just by being who you are and being that true, authentic person that you are. People look at you and they're like, "What does that person know that I don't? What does that person do differently?" It's kind of you become a leader because people start to follow you. But a true leader leads people to themselves. A true leader creates other leaders. Um, so, in other words, throughout this week, you are going to be given the opportunity to be a leader or a follower. And, sometimes listening to your heart, you will follow someone else's lead. It doesn't mean that you're going to be on the front lines or anything, but it's like by listening to your heart, giving your heart the authority to dictate what is right for you and what isn't right for you. Um, you begin to step into a power that other people will want to know more about, want to be able to step. People will start to look to you as a role model, and because sometimes your heart will take you. You will, if you follow your heart, sometimes you'll be within the box that society accepts, and sometimes you'll be outside of the box. So sometimes people will love you for it, and sometimes they will not. Look at all the great historical, religious, spiritual leaders, including Jesus, and Buddha, and any of the other ones. It's like you can't box in the heart. We try to create these rules in society and then live in them, that narrow one path to God kind of idea. And it doesn't work that way because your heart is like your emotions, and it flows. It doesn't go in a straight line. It goes and it doubles back on itself and it spirals around. And sometimes, and I'm not telling anyone, I'm not advocating breaking the law or going out of your way to make others miserable, or I'm not promoting that. I'm promoting the connection of the heart. And because we are all connected by the heart. And when you're living from the heart, you're living from your source, from God, from goddess, whatever you want to call the creative source energy, that's how we tune into it. And so when you're listening to your heart, you're actually listening to the divine. And the divine is not going to guide you to do anything destructive or malevolent. Um, that's how you start to trust that. And all the desires of the heart that we have come from the divine. It's our compass of what we're supposed to do. There are so many philosophies and religions that say you can't be happy now. Don't dance. Don't be joyful. When that's exactly opposite of the way it works. The things that bring us joy, the things that bring us the most fulfillment, those are signs from the divine, from God, that this is the way you're supposed to go. That's what it's meant. That's what Joseph Campbell means by following your bliss. It might not always be happy, it might not always be easy, but when you follow your bliss, there's a resonance in the heart that even though it might be rough, even though there might be obstacles to overcome, there's something that draws you forward. There's something that draws you onward into a betterment of yourself and a bigger fulfillment. And that is how you become a leader, because you're no longer following outside external authorities. You're following your own. And when we all follow our own authority, when we all follow that inner authority, because we're all connected from the heart, because that connects us all to source, to creator, that's where harmony comes in, because we're listening to the same voice. Ultimately, we are all one. Ultimately, it is just one energy, one creative source. And when we all listen to that, we have diverse roles to play, and everything happens like when you look at the woods, you look at the trees and the plants and the animals and the ecosystem and how everything works together. They're listening to one voice. There's one overriding song that they listen to that tells them their part, and they play it, and they move through it. They harmonize with all the other life around them because they are one. And we are one. And so the more you can pull yourself away from expectations of others, doing what you're supposed to do according to tradition or to others' expectations, or because you're in a certain role, you're a mother or whatever it is, and so you have to act this way. It's like, no, listen to your heart. That is your authority, and that's how you become a leader, because you cut those cords of authority that lead to guilt and codependence and all those other really ugly things, other heavy, ugly, blah stuff. And you free yourself, and the more you free yourself, the more you free everybody else. That's how it works. When one of us gains, all of us gains. When one of us does better, all of us do better. We're all in this together. And the more empowered, passionate people we have walking on the planet, the better all of us are, because then we all become leaders, and it just works out. And I'm not saying it's going to be all peaceful and there won't be arguments, because we're all still human. We're all still have egos to deal with. But when we come from the same source, and when we approach life from a win-win situation, knowing there's always a completely harmonious solution, then we're working together. Even if we're at odds and head to head, we're still working together to find the solution, because there's always a third way. There's always, when you're hitting heads, it's like there's always something, there's always a win-win situation where everybody benefits. So listen to your heart this week. Do what it says. I'm not saying go out and break the law, nothing like that, because the more in harmony you are with your heart, the more in love with everybody you are, and the more in the flow you are, and so things just work out. So listen to that heart and follow what it says. It may take you outside your comfort zones. In fact, I promise you that it will. make you speak up at a time when you would rather back off, or vice versa. But just listen to it, and rather than thinking your way through this week, feel your way through this week. Let your heart lead you, because it just wants to take you home. It just wants to lead you home, because we are all connected. We all are, underneath everything else, light and love and joy. That is our basic nature. And when you surrender to that, and this is kind of a paradox, when you surrender to that reality, then you become a leader. By surrendering, you take control. Um, so don't be afraid. Find your voice. Rawr! Um, do what brings you strength, because whatever fulfills you, whether people believe it or not, fulfills them. It's always a mutual benefit when there are two or more people that come together. When you're living from your heart, whatever you do to fulfill yourself is for the benefit of everyone around you. And that's not to get into codependency and to think, well, I can do it because they needed that. It's like, no, when you're focused on your own heart, your heart will tell you what you need to do. And by doing this, it's not about lording over and putting people in their place. It's about listening to your heart, and allowing you to be in the place you need to be, and be that presence of love and light. And in doing that, you raise the vibration of everybody and everything around you. So be a leader. You might still follow what others say, but in your heart, do what your heart says. Listen to your intuition. It knows. You can trust it, because it really is the voice of God. So be good and enjoy yourself. Don't forget to play. Cougars are cats, and they love to play. So play and have fun, and listen to your heart and let it guide you. Pay attention when you listen to your heart, and pay attention when you don't. That's how we learn, by making mistakes. So take that for what it's worth, and I will see you next week. And if you would like a medicine card reading, or any other the shamanic services that I offer, you can check out my website at perchingwolfstudios.net, or you can email me at perchingwolf@hotmail.com, and we can arrange something. I would love to help you out. Always love to empower people. That's my job. And I hope this has been a little empowering and enlightening for you. So enjoy your week, and I will see you next Monday. All right, bye-bye.